Hi. So, how long does it really take to learn guitar? Maybe we've all asked ourselves that question at some point. And today I'm going to tell you everything we need to consider and what we know about the answer to this question. I'll give you some numbers later, but let's start from the beginning. Learning to play the guitar is a discipline that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And to answer this question, we need to consider certain factors that will really give us at least an approximate time to reach certain guitar levels. So, learning depends on multiple factors. It's not just about hours, but about the quality of practice and focus. This needs to be made very clear. Factors like age, motivation, natural ability, study material, teacher, and approach affect the speed of learning. And finally, determination and consistency, which are key to progressing. Many calculations have been made regarding how long it would approximately take to play the guitar well, but all these numbers vary according to these very same factors I mentioned. Still, what can we expect to achieve if we practice correctly? Well, in the first weeks, assuming you're a beginner, you can learn basic chords and play simple songs, in addition to learning the name of the strings of the guitar, which takes only 5 seconds. Look, from top to bottom: E, A, D, G, B, E. That's it. It's that simple. From 3 to 6 months, you master most open chords, you can play basic riffs and melodies, and you get fluency in chord changes and rhythms, as long as you practice these things with patience. By 1 year, you could enter the intermediate level, and you should have the ability to play and breathe almost any song, play in public and in a band without feeling so shy. And from a year onwards, the learning curve slows down a bit, but you continue progressing with structured practice. But if we need to give numbers in terms of practice hours, here are some approximates. A beginner ranges between 0 and 300 hours of practice. Then for the intermediate level, you need between 1,000 and 2,500 hours. For the advanced level, between 2,500 and 5,000 hours. And then to be professional, you need more than 5,000 hours. And then master would be over 10,000 hours. Now, just for reference, 10,000 hours is equivalent to playing 4 hours a day every day for 6.8 years. Let's round it to 7 years. Normally, it doesn't happen that we dedicate 4 hours every day to practice, but if someone does, well, that's dedication. But again, this is not entirely accurate, nor it is a guarantee, because you can practice 4 hours a day but do it incorrectly. And here's the big factor that differentiates one learner from another. Let's assume you practice 4 hours a day every day of the week, but you only practice the same songs over and over again, or you only improvise over the minor pentatonic scale, or worse, your posture, technique, and practice method are bad, and you spend all those hours wasting time instead of improving the essentials. It's far more important to know how to use the time than to spend many hours without structure or reflecting on what you're doing. Let's say you're a beginner. Well, let me tell you that at this stage, what matters most is your posture and technique, because this will shape the rest of your learning. It's easier to correct small mistakes or details at the beginning than after years of playing with these bad habits. It's not impossible, but one gets used to a certain way of playing that may over time result in barriers or limitations to learning new guitar skills. That's why you need to be very clear about what you want to do, what your goals are from the start. But it's important that we ask ourselves some questions, leading us to consider other factors that will also influence your learning. And it starts with the guitar. Do you have a guitar? Is it in good condition? Is it the right size and style? What's your health condition in terms of your fingers? Do you have dexterity in your hands? Can you coordinate your fingers well? Are you self-taught? Are you planning on taking lessons? Watching tutorials? What learning method do you want to use? Or do you just want to learn random things with no special methodology? Do you have experience playing another string instrument? How much time do you have to practice during the week? Because you may go to school or work many hours or have a family to support, and here times becomes crucial for your learning. Do you have all the necessary equipment? That is tuner, picks, amplifier, capo, books, internet? And there are more questions to consider, like what style of music do you want to learn? Because maybe learning pop or playing ballads takes less time than learning jazz metal, or flamenco. And here other factors come into play, such as your social environment. Do you have musician friends or potential bandmates? Or even closer, do your family or loved ones support your decision to learn? And would you be able to practice comfortably at home, or is it hard to practice with high volume where you live? The truth is that you're responsible for all these matters, but it's still necessary to have clear objectives. Because maybe you just want to learn to accompany songs while singing alone, or with friends, or in a church, or your plan is to become a lead guitarist, play in a band or go on tour, or you want to be professional, dedicate yourself, and make a living from music. All these points will matter as you start or continue your guitar journey. As a teacher, I've seen students with very different learning rhythms. Some take multiple classes per week, but progress slowly due to lack of practice or motivation, while others with just one class a week in less than a year are already playing in public. This happens with both kids and adults facing similar challenges. In fact, whenever you start guitar, you must keep in mind that it's something that takes time, and there's no final point in your learning journey. Also, all of this depends on your personal attitude. That is, how you approach learning something. Are you patient? Are you an organized person? Someone who investigates and is disciplined? Do you like challenges? Are you optimistic? Do you give up easily? Maybe when you start practicing guitar, you begin to learn more about yourself, and that's good. I think that if you can answer these questions, you can already get an idea of how long it'll take you to learn or improve at guitar. But really, the most important thing, no matter how much or how little time you have available, is to have a practice routine. Because having defined what to practice and how to distribute those practices during the week really makes a difference. You can practice every day or every few times a week, but as long as you really focus on what's important, you'll be investing your time well. As I said at the beginning, quality of practice hours is much more important than the quantity. Of course, at the beginning you need to get familiar with the instrument, so the first weeks will bring obstacles like finger pain, being able to change chords in time, or doing bar chords without struggle. The first obstacles are always the hardest, but if you're patient and dedicated, you can get through that stage, and then everything will be much easier. Once you can master these small things, it'll help you in the future. And the more you practice, the more natural it'll become for you. Muscle memory takes time, but everything will get easier. Remember not to try to learn too many things at once. It's better to focus on clear goals and follow a structured plan that helps you optimize your progress. If you jump from one technique to another without order, you'll likely advance slower and feel stuck. It's also key to have realistic expectations. Don't obsess with learning fast, because that will only lead you to frustration. Everyone has their own pace, and the important thing is to enjoy the process. The best thing you can do is find ways to stay motivated and know how to face obstacles when they come, because they will come. Now here's my conclusion, and I think this is more about having a natural maturation when you practice than forcing it. You must learn from the process, face and overcome obstacles. You can watch tutorials, courses, follow a book or method, have a teacher in person or online, but you must commit to learning without giving up easily. In the end, every effort pays off. You need to grow not only in learning but in wisdom and experience. That's why there's no limit on guitar. The truth is that you never stop learning. There's always something more. Maybe your initial idea was to learn classical music and nothing else, but over months or years, you become interested in rock or funk, or switch from an nylon string guitar to an electric one, or from a steel string guitar to a 12-string guitar. You can master arpeggios, fingerstyle, legato, but maybe you'll get interested in learning tapping, sweep picking, or simply improve your rhythm with a metronome, or learn to improvise better. And I didn't even mention the theory part, because you can be really good at guitar without knowing much theory, but it will always be very helpful to learn it, because it will help you understand better what you're doing and also know what you can learn. You can compose, make arrangements, improvise better, and much more. You can learn to read sheet music, memorize all the chords, scales, and notes on the fretboard. And still, there's more to learn. When we start learning, we are unaware of many things, but then we understand how valuable those things are. Over time, everything becomes more natural and we do it unconsciously. There's this saying I really like: don't practice a song until you get it right, practice a song until you don't get it wrong. And I think this is a great way to look at learning because it emphasizes consistency and mastering something before moving on. Once you start learning, it's a one-way journey. It never ends, and that's the good part. It's about giving it time. Remember to practice with a good routine, be patient, and the results will come, and be proud of your progress. If you want to know how to build an ideal practice routine for you, I invite you to check out this video, which will definitely help you, at least as a guide. Share your experiences or expectations about learning guitar in the comments. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and keep playing.